Okay, everybody, for question number 9, all they want from you are these coordinates here. How? It's because it's asking you to solve the simultaneous equations, but using the graph. Now, what do simultaneous equations give you? It gives you the coordinates where two lines intersect. And usually you would have to solve them using the traditional methods, such as substitution or elimination. But for this, because you've been given the graph, they just want that coordinate there, which is 6. So x equals 6. It's only worth 1 mark, this question, by the way. X equals 6 and y equals 2. That's it. Those are the coordinates where they meet. Let's move on, everybody. This is where the paper's going to start to get hard. It's worth 4 marks, everybody. Or maybe I'm just feeling insecure because generally I'm not good at geometry. But to be honest, this one looks decent. Everybody, please have a go at this question. Okay, everybody. So this is an irregular polygon. So you have to do that whole n-2 times 180 business. Okay, to find interior angles of an irregular polygon. So the number of sides, we've got a pentagon. So it's n-2 times 180 to find the sum of the interior angles of this irregular polygon. So this is going to give you, there are 5 sides. So it's 5 minus 2 times 180. And if you do this, you're going to get 3 times 180, which is 540 degrees. So we know that the angle, the sum of all these angles of this pentagon should equal 540. Then they've told us in the question that angle AED, angle A, start from this point, E, D, you always take the angle in the middle. So this angle here is 4 times the angle at ABC, at this angle here. So we can say if this is X, this is 4X. And so therefore, if we note that the sum must equal 540, that means 120 plus 135 degrees plus 110 degrees plus 5x plus these two angles added together gives you 540. So 120 plus 135 should give you 255 plus 110 plus 5x. Sorry, I'm doing this in a bit of a long way. I just don't want to make a mistake. So this gives you 365 plus 5x equals 540. And then so 5x equals 540 minus 365. And that should be 5x equals 175. If I haven't made a mistake there. 140 plus oh sorry. No, should that be, so it's 235? Where did I make a mistake? Sorry, guys, 1 sec. Yeah, so this is all correct. Now all you have to do is divide both sides by 5. So you can use the bus stop method. 175 goes inside, 5 goes outside. How many 5s go into 1? None. How many 5s go into 17? 3. What's left over? 2. How many 5s go into 5? How many 5s go into 25? 5. So the answer should be, so it's asking for the size of angle AED. So this one here. So then you do 4 times 35, which of course is going to be 140 degrees. That should be the answer. Okay. So you then tell the examiner angle AED is equal to that. And you should get full marks. Let's keep going, everybody. So for this question here, guys, you need to source out the numerator and the denominator. So what do? Let's deal with the numerator first, right? And you have to remember 2 index laws. A to the power of m, all to the power of n gives you a to the power of m times n. This is just for the numerator. And the second law that you need to know is ab to the power of m gives you a to the power of m times b to the power of m. So for the numerator, what do we have? We have 6x to the power of 5, y to the power of 3, all to the power of 2. So look, 6 squared, right? So 6. So first we have to write 6 squared times x to the power of 5 times 2. So you get x to the power of 10 times, and then y cubed times, so you have to times the powers. 3 times 2 gives you y to the power of 6. So in the end, the numerator is now 36 times x to the power of 10 times y to the power of 6. Now we have to deal with the denominator. So the denominator is 3x to the power of 2 times y to the power of 7 times 4 times x to the power of 1 times y. We'll just leave it as, I don't know why I'm writing it like that, to the power of minus 3. Okay? So now what? What do we do now? Well, you need to remember 2 other index laws. The first one is a to the power of m times a to the power of n gives you a to the power of m plus n. And to finish off the question, you're going to need a to the power of m divided by a to the power of n, which gives you a to the power of m minus n. Now, my friends, this is a question that's pretty much involving all the index laws in one. This test is really testing you. So now what do you do? Well, 3 times 4 is 12. X to the power of 2 times x to the power of 1 is just x to the power of 3. And then y to the power of 7 times y to the power of y to the power of 7 times y to the power of minus 3. Remember, when you're multiplying powers, you add them. So 7 plus minus 3 gives you 4 because you get 7 minus 3. Thank you, Ibrahim. Okay? I just want to give a shout out to Ibrahim there. 7 minus 3 equals 4. All right? And now what do I do? So I've got y to the power of 4 now. So that's the new denominator. So if I bring everything together, what I have essentially is 36 times x to the power of 10 times y to the power of 6. That's the new numerator. We've like simplified it. And the denominator is 12 times x to the power of 3 times y to the power of 4. So 36 divided by 12 is 3 times, and this is going to be the final question, everybody. Okay? X to the power of 10 divided by x to the power of 3. Remember, we're using this rule here. You take away the powers. So you get x to the power of 7. And then you take away 6, take away 4 is y to the power of 2. So the final answer is, everybody, in the form ax to the power of b times y to the power of c is 3x to the power of 7 y squared. That is the final answer, everybody. And I believe this is correct. Let's keep going. This question here, guys, is worth 3 marks. Please pause the video, everybody. Have a go at this. Whenever you're ready for the answers, you can press play. Okay, for this question here, guys, I hope you've had a go. It says, find the probability that Martha will lose at least 1 game and it's worth 3 marks. So what you do is you first have to figure out what can happen. Well, she can win the first game. And if she wins the first game, the probability is 5/8. Right? Because look, she can win the first game. And then the second game, she can lose, which is 7/9. So this is at least 1 game. Or what could happen is that in the first game, she loses. So the probability is 3/8, as you can see. And then you multiply that out with winning. So it's 2/9. The second game, she could win. So it's 2/9. This is basic tree diagrams, guys. If you haven't done it, please go study it. And you should also remember all in probability is add. And in probability is multiply. But we have an or situation. How did I get that or? I used my brain. Yeah. So you find the probability that Martha will at least lose 1 game. I just wrote out. She can either that event can happen, event 1 or event 2. One of them, she either wins a game, then loses a second, or she loses the first and wins the second. So that's where the or come from. So 5 times 7 is 35. 8 times 9 is 72. So 35 plus, over 72 plus 6 over 72. Right? So the final answer is they've already done us a massive favor by having the denominators equal to be the same already. So then you just have to do 35 plus 6, which gives you 41/72. And this should be the final answer for this question here. 41/72. Okay, for question number 13, everybody. Okay, I hope you guys have had a go. It's question number it's question number 13, and it's worth 3 marks. So you must remember that y is directly proportional to x, and that's the way you write this out. And as an equation, it's y equals kx. So they've told us when y, so now the next step is to find that constant, to find k. So they've told us y equals 24. So 24, y equals 24. In fact, let me do it here so you can see it better. And then k times 1.5. At this point, I want to turn the 1.5 into a fraction. It's easier to work with, which is 3 over 2. So 24 is equal to 3k over 2, right? Then to solve for k, you're going to times both sides by 2. So you're going to get 48 equals 3k. And then you divide both sides by 3, and k is going to equal 16. And then they say, yeah, this is so easy, to be honest. Work out the value of y when x equals 5. So now you know your formula. Y equals to 16x. Because you know k. K is 16, so you can plug it in this. And what would the value of y be when x is 5? So y is going to equal to 16 times 5, which is, of course, 80. So y equals 80. Beautiful, easy 3 marks. Let's move on. Okay, guys, for this question here, question number 16, it says write 1 over 16 in the form 4 to the power of n. Now, one thing you need to remember is that a to the power of minus m gives you 1 over a to the power of m. So you need to do this in such a way where you get 1 over 16. So if you do 4 to the power of minus 2, it's 1 over 4 squared, which, of course, is 1 over 16. But make sure, as your answer, you don't write 1 over 16 now. Because you could be rushing and you could accidentally write that down. So your actual answer in the box is 4, where n is an integer, 4 to the power of minus 2. Next. Okay, let's keep going. Now, this question here, which I don't like the way they've done it, but, you know, it looks a bit, it can confuse someone. There's an important rule you need to remember. When you have a to the power of m over n, that's the root, and that's the power, which rhymes with flour. Okay? Because flour is on top. Right? The flour's on top and the roots are on the bottom. So 8. So that's the root. So you have to do cube root of 8 and then put it to the power of 5. So instead of doing 8 to the power of 5, then cube root, which could be very difficult. Cube root 8 is 2. 2 to the power of 5 is 16. No, it's not. It's 32. So what I'm trying, obviously, don't rub your working out in the exam. I need to rub it out. This first bit I got as 32. And that's minus 9 to the power of 3 over 2. That's the root, and that's the power, which rhymes with flour. Root 9 is 3, and then 3 cubed is 27. So we have 32 minus 27, and the answer is just 5. I've rubbed out my working. You don't do that in an exam. Obviously, I don't have space.
So can you please repeat the first bit, like with the 8?
Yeah, I feel like I did rush it, didn't I?
I don't understand.
Okay. So the first, you have to deal with each part by itself. So 8 to the power of 5 over 3, yeah?
Yeah.
So you have to write this as cube root 8 to the power of 5, because that's the root. That's the power. Agree?
Yeah.
Let's leave that for a second. And that's being minused by root 9 to the power of 3, because that's the root, right?
Yeah.
And the top is the power, which rhymes with flour. So now, cube root 8 is 2. 2 to the power of 5 is 32.
Okay.
Because 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 32. Minus square root 9 is 3. 3 cubed is 27. You just get 5. Okay? I just want to remind the kids of something. Don't try to take away the powers. This is not a fraction question where you do 5 over 3 minus 3 over 2. It's not that. That you need the terms to be the same value. That's 8 and that's 9. You need them both, a to the power of m divided by a to the power of n. You need them both to be a, but they're not. One's 8, one's 9. Let's move on.
And this won't even work because, like, we're minusing here. We're not even dividing, so that minusing power doesn't even work here.
Let's move on, everybody. Oh, this is a depressing question. So we spent a long, our kids on our platform spent a long time on this topic. The good throwback question. Everyone pause the video, have a go at this question. Whenever you're ready for the answers, you can press play. Okay, everybody, we've been sat here for literally 1 hour and 30 minutes doing these questions. We've got up to question 15 on paper 1. I'm really tired now, guys. What I'm going to do is just make this into 2 videos. So we got up to question 14. In the next part, we're going to do the last 8 questions, which I'm assuming is going to take a long time because it's going to be the harder questions. I've already seen through them, and I'm pretty sure I can get them all correct. Okay, so I don't have to rely on the mark scheme to check my answers. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm just going to end it.